And now for our next bout, first fighting out of the blue corner. This fighter stands 6 feet 1 inch tall. He weighed in at 155 pounds. He trains with Team Execution out of Moreno Valley, California. Please welcome Evan Thompson.
Well, you heard it, Evan Thompson, fighting out of my hood, Moreno Valley, which is kind of cool because I didn't know we had that many fighters. All we have is old people out there, but nice to see Evan Thompson make his way to the cage, 155 pounds, another debut here tonight at King of the Cage Twisted Metal.
King of the Cage has had a history of tough fighters out of Moreno Valley, believe it or not. One of the toughest guys, Brian Foster.
Yeah.
Tough fighter.
Brian Foster used to get in there and bang, and he'd bang with anybody.
Yeah.
He had a couple really good wars.
So Evan Thompson makes his way to the cage here tonight, and like I said, exciting matchups. The welterweight title is on the line once again. I'm very excited to see Witherspoon get back in there, and he's not fighting any amateur by any means tonight. He's fighting John Malo, who's had over close to 20 fights. He's fought some of the toughest competition, and this is a different Malo.
Malo is an athlete. He's well trained. He's explosive. He's got all of the tools to upset Witherspoon.
Absolutely.
It's a tough bout for anyone to take. Malo's taken a lot of fights on short notice and come up short a couple times, but he's always put up an impressive fight.
But Witherspoon has also fought some of the toughest as well, too, to his credit. Has fought guys like Laverne Clark, so it's exciting to throw experienced fighters in there.
Fighting out of the red corner, stands 5 feet 8 inches tall. He weighed in at 155 pounds. He trains with Team Hardbody out of Gardena, California. Please welcome Chris Krebs.
Well, you can see a slight height advantage for Evan Thompson tonight. Chris Krebs, 5'8". Evan Thompson, 6'1", 155 pounds out of Gardena, California, like you heard. You know, his favorite way to finish a fight is a KO. I believe that's a lot of fighters' way to stop a fight. It's like the home run, man, of mixed martial arts. But this ain't baseball, man.
Yeah, you know, it's a definite advantage to be a little taller, not only on your feet, but on the ground. Your legs seem to be a little bit longer. Your triangle chokes are a little more dangerous. You create a little bit more distance to get back to your feet. So it'll be interesting to see a guy that's 6'1", 155. He looks like he has a little bit of muscle on him, so I'm sure he has a little power as well.
You know, people that use their body style properly, I mean, I've seen a lot of times the shorter guy comes in, he's better at takedowns, stronger, and on the inside he gets his punches off faster. So it really depends on how savvy they are as a fighter, really how they use their body. But definitely with submission with the legs, the height is a definite advantage.
And a perfect example of that, at Kendall Grove at 185. The guy stands so freaking tall. I mean, his legs are just dangerous. And of course, Kendall Grove, a fighter here at King of the Cage who got knocked out by Hector Ramirez, a very amazing one at that. So it's a matchup in the lightweight division scheduled for three-minute rounds here tonight. And I gotta say, I love the circle cage when they bring it out because the ring girls walk right in front of us. All my partners right now are really quiet because they just walked in front of us. Dean, our referee for this matchup. One of the most busiest refs in the business.
Both fighters tying up early. Krebs tried to throw a right hand. Didn't land it, and now it looks like Thompson may get the takedown.
That double underhooks there seems to secure position. It's a good inside trip.
There it goes. Krebs trying to bring those legs up high.
Ray's just being patient, pushing him into the corner, pinning him up against the cage there. Going to start working some ground and pound, looking for a pass.
Thompson will try and get up here.
Krebs reverses, comes forward, now in a bad position, both arms underneath. Thompson lets go, doesn't attempt on the guillotine, doesn't feel that he's got a secure position there. A knee to the chest, mostly stopped by his own wrists in the way of it. Might have got a little bit of contact there, though. Thompson now with a couple good shots to the ribs. He looks like he's going to go for that guillotine after all.
Thompson just does not want to let that guillotine go.
Well, one mistake by Krebs, and he'll be able to finish the fight quickly.
Looked like he had that in there deep for a second.
Herb Dean on top of the action, making sure both fighters are staying busy.
Thompson really doing a good job with those underhooks to control Krebs' position. Not going after submissions right now, but Krebs is underneath and holding that position. He's burning more energy. He's just holding that weight of Thompson on top of him.
And Chris doing a good job of getting to his feet here from a bad position he was in for a couple minutes and didn't sustain much damage. Evan seemed to have really good leverage on those, on his clinch and the knees to the body. Looks like Krebs is going to drop low and work that takedown. We'll get some good uppercuts on the inside, a little dirty boxing, and eats a really good knee to the suplex. And that looks like that might have hurt him.
Thompson continuing to control the pace of this fight, doing a great job at that if this does go the distance. So thus far, with that takedown especially.
Well, Thompson has really been dominant in the clinch most of the fight. He's been able to control with his superior positioning right now. Krebs, although, seems to be very athletic. He's not tired out, and he keeps on getting out of positions, but Thompson still maintaining control.
Well, 10 seconds remains here in round one. And Thompson is going to finish this one strong. And one last knee for the, like a little doggy bag for him there. Take that home with you.
Well, in my opinion, that was a one-sided round for Thompson.
Absolutely.
Good clinching, superior with the knees to the body.
He had great control, was really patient, wasn't really anxious to slap a submission on or even throw some unnecessary punches and waste any energy. Really super tight in the clinch, and his takedowns were money. He got 2 takedowns and a full pass there at the end.
For a pro debut, he's looking very polished in this first round.
Absolutely. And remember, King of the Cage Twisted Metal is being brought to you in part by Rockstar Energy Drinks. We also want to thank the folks at ProElite.com, continuing to empower the fight community. You can log on today, start your profile, check out some of the greatest fighters in the world, some of the greatest interviews as well. ProElite.com, empowering the fight community. So we're here at San Manuel Indian Bingo and Casino. They've been a great host for us, more central in the Inland Empire, so a lot more fans coming out and supporting the world of mixed martial arts here tonight.
And here we go, starting round 2. Both guys coming out fresh. It looks like their conditioning isn't a problem for their pro debut. That's really surprising.
And you can see the big grin on Thompson, ready for round 2 here.
Oh, good straight right hands by Thompson.
And Thompson gets caught a little bit there. And he'll continue to work from that clinch.
Well, Krebs is working hard. I mean, he hasn't been hurt by anything that Thompson's thrown at him. But he just hasn't had a chance to get any of his own shots off.
You know, especially with your first fight, you want to display as much as you can, and not getting that chance kind of sucks. You trained so long, man, you know?
Really being neutralized by Thompson. Again, Thompson landed a good straight right hand off the break there. Threw one there, just slipped past the chin.
Inside leg kick for Evan Thompson.
Krebs gets in a little left hook of his own that connects. Again, followed up with another one. Now Krebs is finding his distance.
I'm sure his corner was telling Krebs you need to get busy, and that's exactly what he's doing, and this turned into a stand-up war.
And they're just banging it out.
This is what the fans want to see, guys.
Just unbelievable combination from both guys, but again, Evan Thompson seemed to get the best of it and drops a knee in at the end with a 6-7 punch combination.
Well, what Thompson's been doing, he's using his height effectively by throwing straight punches down the middle.
And sometimes that happens when a fighter, they just, sometimes they're better in the clinch, and sometimes they want to test themselves and take the risk, but that's not what he's doing.
You saw what Thompson did well there is at the end of his punches, he mixed it up. He went into a clinch and threw a knee again. He didn't just stand there trading.
Krebs eats a couple more.
But delivers a good straight right hand on the way in.
See it, and you see the good movement there by Thompson? That's a sign of a little bit more mature fighter. He throws his combos, he gets his points, he doesn't wait for the other person to come back and hit him. He gets in, he clinches up and goes for something different, changing the game up somewhat.
And they'll get a fresh start. Krebs eats a couple more. Evan Thompson.
Krebs is just a little shorter, having a hard time reaching Thompson while Thompson throws straight punches down the
Big
middle.
left hook by Krebs.
Oh, now Krebs gets a right hand over the top.
Evan Thompson just capitalizing every time he swings, but Krebs showing tremendous amount of heart right now.
I'll tell you what, if Evan Thompson can sit down on one of those straight rights, his fight would be over. He's standing super tall. He sits down just a little bit. He'll be able to finish that with one of those nasty rights that he's found the range on.
He's connecting well, but I haven't seen him really hurt Krebs.
No.
Krebs is a tough kid. He's been taking him right on the chin, a left and a right at the same time, in a combination of punches, one right after the other, and he still hasn't knocked him off balance or seemed to phase him. And you see Krebs there with the left hook coming in.
He's starting to find his range a little bit here. And it's a good combination. Left hook, right straight to the body.
He's got to be careful when he comes in, getting caught with that stiff jab of Evan Thompson, but does a
now
great job there.
Oh, that's a phenomenal round. Guys are warriors.
Great round. These guys are fighting their hearts out, and I'll tell you what, again, I'm giving it to Thompson in that round, but Krebs is making some progress. Both pro debuters and looking sharp here.
I'll tell you what, Chris, Krebs looked like he hurt Thompson there with some combinations towards the end.
And the thing is, you know, a lot of people don't understand that just because it's their MMA debut, these guys have fought in gyms, you know, they're thrown around by, you know, some of the biggest guys. You know, when you come into a gym, sometimes you're like the new guy in the totem pole, and they'll start throwing you around, and that's just the way it is. But, you know, these guys, I'm sure they fought a couple of smokers, you know, fights in gyms, so they just look really polished tonight, like you guys said. Of course, King of the Cage being brought to you also in part by Booyah Fightwear. And later on tonight, Aaron Witherspoon defends his welterweight title against the veteran here at King of the Cage, John Malo. So we will go into round 3. Round 2, we witnessed pretty much a stand-up war between these two fighters.
Here we go, round 3 underway. Referee Herb Dean starts the action. This is a third and final round pro debut matchup between Thompson and Krebs. Oh, and now Krebs is really putting some power behind those punches. I think he realizes he has to win by KO to win this fight.
Absolutely.
And that's a bad position there for Chris Krebs. Giving up his back to Evan Thompson.
That's a smart thing by Evan Thompson, you know, seeing that, hey, I got to take this to the ground. I don't want to get caught. It's 50-50 chance at that point when you stand up with your opponent like that.
Chris Krebs gets back to his feet, and they're just throwing haymakers now.
Tell you what, Krebs is showing a lot of heart, but he knows he's got to, like you said, Chris, he's got to go for the KO at this point. It's do or die.
Well, he's going to have to finish, and I don't think he's going to get a submission. So far, he hasn't had a superior grappling position. But I'll tell you what, he eats those punches to his face, but does not flinch.
And you got to think that Evan Thompson's probably questioning, like, what the hell? This guy won't go out.
Evan Thompson's done a great job.
Immediately into the pass on that takedown and side control. Both guys are pretty spent. If Evan Thompson's able to maintain position here, work a little bit on the top, this fight's over, and immediately crosses over and goes into the mount. Giving up his back is Chris Krebs.
Very dangerous position.
And he's going to try and shake him off. Gets his head down a little bit lower. Evan Thompson's riding really high.
And Thompson just chopping with some short shots. Real nuisance while Krebs is in this awkward position.
Now Evan Thompson did to both of those hooks in there, delivering some damage. Has readjusted his position, sitting back just a little bit more, and it doesn't look like Chris is going to be able to shake him off. He's going to stand up and get choked here.
Krebs absolutely needs to stand this up. Like you said, right now it's a do or die situation for him if he wants to win this. If it does go the decision.
Krebs unable to work one of his knees inside to get out of this position right now.
Evan Thompson doing a great job of maintaining position. Obviously he's worked a little bit on his jiu-jitsu, able to maintain those hooks.